podcast where we talking about all the hot topics and whatever the fuck else come to our mind. And tonight, my special guest is D.U.L.A. Go on and let the cousins know who you... First of all, how you doing tonight, D.U.L.A?
I'm doing all right, Goddess. I can't complain about nothing, really.
Okay. And let the people know about you. Like,
my name is D.U.L.A. Y'all can find me on Instagram at doulas.nigga. I love to... we're here to talk about my business and a lot of other stuff that we got going on. So we just going to chop it up. I'm coming in under my liquor house rules, so I bought some gifts for our beautiful hostess, so hope y'all enjoy.
He did, y'all. He got me some nice gifts. I don't think I can say one of them on here, can I?
Take one of them what?
No. Can I tell them what they is or no?
Yeah, you can tell them.
Oh yeah, so one of them is some peach moonshine, and the other one is some pickle okra, because I love the farmer's market. He didn't even know that, but I love the farmer's market, and they came from the farmer's market. But,
oh, you know, good people do good things. Sometimes you just stumble on good shit.
Right, and my dad in town, so I might let him take some of that peach moonshine tonight.
There you go, right there. Just sip it though. Don't what's that? You do too much, it'll turn you into a whole nother person.
I ain't never drank moonshine.
You haven't? Oh man, you're gonna have to sip that.
Okay.
You're gonna have to taste it because it's gonna be something different. You're gonna open up that jar, you're gonna smell it, you're gonna be like, ooh.
What is it made out of?
So the peach is a what you would call a brandy. And I know we see brandy, we see cognac, and it usually comes out brown. Mm-hmm. But with moonshine, it's straight from the moonshining process into a jug or jar. So it's not stored in an oak barrel. An oak barrel is what gives a brandy or a cognac its color.
And what's the moonshining process?
So it's the same process that any liquor maker makes in any distillery or anything like that, except it's usually done in the woods. So under the cover, they call it moonshine because it's usually done in darkness. So you got the moonlight above, and thus the moonshine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, can we get into D.U.L.A Technologies? Tell the cousins a little bit about D.U.L.A Tech, because y'all, I thought it was so dope that he has a technology company. First of all, when it comes to black IT or black people doing IT, is less than 12%. So for him to have his own technology company, I thought that was really dope. So that's why I brought him here tonight, to let y'all know that we could do it in the IT world too.
Definitely.
Y'all know I always bring y'all the entrepreneur tea. So tell them about like what is D.U.L.A Technologies and how it started.
So where it started from, I've always been a kid that always had engineering aspects. So I was really good at math and science, so that was my thing. And so I became like the fix-it guy around my house. So my mom would, and it's like, these are true stories, and I always tell you, I always got stories to go along with it. So things would tear up, I would go and fix it. So my mom, the lights would get cut off on the house, and I learned from my mom, and she would go out there, tinker with the electrical box or whatever, and come back in Cuzn. So if you don't know anything about lights and electrical boxes, they have sequences that are on it. Okay. And so when you go outside and the light people come, they check the meters or whatever, and they can turn it off, but there's a sequence code. And so I learned how to actually turn the lights back on by figuring out the sequence codes. So I could at least get, you know, 2/4 or 1/3 of the house lights or the electricity back on.
Ooh, so by doing the never have to worry about the lights being off.
Oh no, she still had to worry about the lights being off.
Okay.
She still had to worry about it. Let me tell you, this lady had done it. We had done it so much, they put a bench worn out on it.
Oh.
And so the police came, got her, took her to court. The Duke Power put a lock on the box. They locked it so that way a big ass lock on it. On the court. That's the first time because she cut the lock off. And so
she was a gangster.
He go back out, and they told her again, we're gonna lock you up for 10 days if you turn the box off. So that was the end of me doing the sequence codes. But that's kind of like how I started. Okay. So a lot of people would ask me to, hey, can you do this? Can you fix the TV? I would take a TV apart or a radio apart and fix it because we didn't have a lot of things. So as I grew in math and science, when I got to college, I got my degree in computer science. So I'm one of the only people, well, at that time, I was the only football player who was a computer science major. Mm-hmm. So I did that. I got my computer science degree. I went to work for what was then
what
First
college
Union.
Did you go to?
I went to Winston-Salem State University.
Okay.
So the illustrious WSSU. So, Oh man, we just had our homecoming last weekend and had a blast. So
Okay.
the first homecoming we've had in what, 4 years, I believe. With the pandemic and everything, I think 2019 was the last one we had. Yeah.
Okay.
So so I worked for First Union and Wachovia, which became Wells Fargo, for 22 years, doing various different tech stuff. So I've done networking. I was a network engineer. I was a systems analyst. I've been a server a server administrator. After about 10, 12 years of that, I moved over to the business, and I started to do what we would call in data analysis.
Okay.
So at D.U.L.A Technologies, I am not only a black man doing technology in this world, in this state, but I'm also the only one that can do it from head to toe, from
Okay.
end to end. I can do your reporting, I can do your network, I can do your server, I can do your applications. If you got issues with the Excel or spreadsheets, or you want to know about Tableau or Power BI, or anything like that, when it comes down to displaying your data or presenting your data. Anybody that is in sales and anything like that, when you have a business, you have to present your data in a manner that can be ingested by who you're trying to sell to. That is D.U.L.A Technologies.
Okay. And how long have you been? How long has D.U.L.A Technologies been around?
Well, D.U.L.A Technologies has been around for years, but I did it as a side hustle for the most part.
Okay.
And I came up the hard way doing that, because as I worked with in corporate America, I always did jobs on the side for people. So people would have, so a church would need to have a setup done for their technology, their computers and their internet, and I would go and do that, and I would charge them a low cost. And then I would do that for nonprofit organizations. I would do that for individuals and their laptops. I fixed their laptops, so I could take a computer apart, fix everything on your motherboard, get it back to you at a low cost. So that's the basis of D.U.L.A, is that I came up with my own formula, my own business model to provide a low cost service.
What's the cost of these services? When you say low cost, they don't have to be exact, because of course we don't know what they mean.
So my basic cost generally, when it comes down to small businesses and nonprofit organizations and churches, is $65 an hour. That's what it comes down to.
Okay.
If it's a larger business, I can go up to $100, $150 an hour.
And how
If
many
you are,
hours do it normally take you?
it just all depends on the job.
Okay.
It just all depends on the job. If say for instance, if there's a laptop that needs to be fixed, say for instance your laptop's not powering up. When you plug in the cord, you don't get no light on it. It's not lighting up. It's not doing that. That tells me you got a power supply issue. That means I have to take the laptop apart, determine whether or not I have to, if it's just plug and play when it comes down to power supply, or is it soldered onto the motherboard.
Okay.
So that determines how many hours. A job like that is usually just maybe 2 hours.
Okay.
So it's only about roughly $120, $130. You crack your screen or something like that, I got a flat rate for that. I did have a flat rate for that. I haven't changed screens like that here lately, but my flat rate is still the same. That's $150.
Okay. Now I noticed that your business does build 360 in exchange. What is
Yes.
it? Can you break it down in black terms? Because they may not know what it is. Let the cutters know.
So I'm gonna let y'all know. Office 365, I believe, is what you're just speaking about. That's mainly your email and your Word programs.
Okay.
So that's Excel, Word, your Outlook email, that type of stuff. So there's a management system that goes in behind that. So if you have 5 users or 10 users or 30 users or even 2,000 users, there's a system that goes in, and that's what I do. I can do that system in admin because I came up on Exchange servers. A lot of that. And the Exchange server is just the back end of that product.
Okay, and what about the data and database? What do you do when it comes to that?
So data and database, I can set up your data structures. I can build you a database out, whether you want it done in Access, which is what a lot of folks know just from your office days, or I can do it in SQL, which is was an SSRS or SSIS or however you want to do it. I can do it in SAS, which is an upper echelon type of data structuring program that will actually put together these tables for you. You can have it access. So I can do that. I can, but that takes code writing.
Okay.
And so I can write the code to actually do that.
Okay, and then when it comes to security, do y'all actually create the security system or y'all just put it in?
We just put it in. Security systems are pretty much already created. Most of the security systems now that you have that operate on a 256-bit encryption, which means that not a lot of people can hack through that. They do have go up even higher levels depending on the size of the enterprise. You can go to 512 and on up. So most of the time when I deal with security, there are things you can do on the front end. So there's in this process, there's a back end and a front end. On the front end, I teach people how to actually secure stuff themselves. So when you get an email, make sure that you know who the email's from. Make sure that you understand the domain name of the email that is coming from, because a lot of times what hackers do and what people do is they do what's called phishing attempts. And they're out there, it's no different than you casting a rod out there fishing. You just trying to see if you can get a bite.
Right.
And they get a bite because someone's not necessarily recognizing the signs that somebody is phishing, and they just open up the email. Your attachments can have things embedded in it, coded in it, pictures and stuff.
Do phishing testing. When we get those emails and you're not supposed to click on it. I failed the other week actually. I clicked on one. That shit
You ain't the only
one.
Let me tell you, I spent like 3 months going through different viruses that came on just from phishing attempts. So that's one of the things that they tell you to do is just giving people the knowledge to actually be able to take care of things themselves before it gets to a major level.
Okay. Being that you're in technology, do you have a smart house?
No, and that's the crazy thing. And so we talking about security. I do not like smart homes.
Why? Because you can get locked in?
No, because people can hack it. So you're trusting another entity to code that stuff as good. You're putting cameras up in your house. You connect your refrigerator. You connect your thermostat system. All that. These are connected to the internet, and when you connect it to the internet, you're opening yourself up to the world. And that world is unforgiving a lot of times. And they get into your stuff, and now they got access to your cameras and all of that.
What about AI? What's your thoughts on AI?
Fuck AI. Fuck AI. I'm not
What
a fan
about the
of
government taking over the AI?
No, hell no. They already do that. What people don't understand is that anything dealing with the internet, when it has an internet connection, even with your cell phone, it goes through the government already. It goes through their government servers and then back out to what's called the World Wide Web.
Right.
So you're going to go through that first because they're going to do what they do and they're going to process it or whatever. They can only do so much because of the Constitution. But the Patriot Act gave them leeway into seeing a little bit more stuff. So they, if they put you on a list, they can listen to conversations.
Right. They've been doing that.
Right. So that's why you have a lot of places like Snapchat who came across and said, who developed a secure app for communication between two people that nobody can even hack on. So even if the government
can't hack it?
Nah, they can't get it. So because Snapchat was built in Australia, I believe. And so it's that they don't have access to Australia stuff. So if it's here, they got access to it. And they are subpoena people like companies like Google or anything like that.
So is TikTok like that too? Because they bad at TikTok because of they whatever. It's not an American company.
Right. So the issue with TikTok is that it's Chinese, and it is built for American society, but it is not hosted in America.
Right.
And not only that, there's an espionage level to it. So not only is the government mad because they can't see into it, but they also mad that China can. Because people forget China's a communist country. So anything that comes out of China, anything that comes out of is been already pretty much backed by the government. So they've been doing that type of stuff in their realm for a long time. So that espionage is actually real. And they're just sitting there watching and waiting.
What jobs you think could be eliminated because of AI?
Oh, there's a lot of jobs. We're starting to see it right now if you just go to Walmart.
Well, what jobs you think can't be eliminated when it comes to AI? Like, they're going to need a human to do it regardless.
Farming. Because farming and harvesting takes a certain sensitivity. So you can AI and program a robot to do just about anything, but it's really hard for you to program to be sensitive. And that's sensitive to the dirt, sensitive to the plants. You just can't go and just be pulling up some stuff. There's a lot of things out there. Now they develop tractors and everything like that when they go and harvest corn or anything like that that can actually parse all that stuff because they do it based on weight. So they parse it out. But corn is easy. It's hard to pick a peach.
Okay.
That's why they ain't got no tractor to go out there to pick a peach out. But in China, what they did was they developed a tractor machine that has an arm on it. And that arm goes out there, and it's a tractor, and it grabs a tree and it just shakes it to get the peaches off of it. So
They grow peaches in China?
You could go damn near just areas are governed to grow certain things.
Okay.
And there's now a wine valley in China. But what they do is that China's so big. They go and find a certain, because every thing that's grown has a certain consistency it needs in the soil in order to produce fruit. Right? So what you do is you go in through science and you mimic that nutritional consistency that it has, whether it's iron, whether it's phosphorus, or whatever like that, to produce a fruit. And so they mimic it. And you can do that, but you're limited.
So that's the genetically modified version.
Yeah, it can be genetically modified. Yeah. I mean, we grow. There was a guy that a few years ago that got arrested, and nobody knows what happened to this guy. I know the government's got his ass like that. He was growing opium or poppy plants, and he had acres of poppy plants. And the only place that you grow poppy plants is in Asia, from Afghanistan to little parts of China. But he figured out a way to do it in motherfucking Newton, North damn Carolina.
What?
So they arrested the dude, and we haven't heard shit.
Damn.
Because I'm telling you what they did was they did this. Every last damn pharmaceutical company is sat back saying, hey, you can put his ass in jail, but we want access to him. And so, because we want to know what the hell he knows to grow that shit over here. Because we done had to wage a war in goddamn Afghanistan to get the poppy fields.
Right.
So that's what. Hey, a lot of people don't even understand why we was over there in damn Afghanistan.
It was for them poppy seeds.
For them damn poppy fields.
On Snowfall, that's where he went at to go get his stuff. Was it Snowfall or was it King of Harlem? I
had to ask her. I don't even watch that.
Which one was it, y'all?
I think he was in Vietnam.
Harlem.
Was it Harlem?
The Vietnam. Okay.
Yeah. That shit is.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Yeah. I watched that shit. I just know the players involved. I remember that shit from down like American Gangster. He's flying. He was saying he was going to down Vietnam shit, flying that shit all the way over.
Right.
And he was just saying, that's blue magic. That's a brand name. I stand by it. I live by it. And then people don't know me no more than the CEO of General Mills. So I know the business of it. I don't know the.
Okay. So let's talk about these. Because look, when he gave y'all his introduction, Cuzn, he did not tell y'all he was an artist. He an artist too. I actually met him. He performed at one of my shows. So that's actually how I know him. He's a very dope artist. So let's talk about that a little bit. Like, what made you want to become an artist?
So I've always been interested in entertainment in the art field. When I was a kid, I was in music all through elementary, all the way up into middle school. And I was in the band until I got to high school, and football kind of took over, and kind of life's obstacles that I had as a child coming up with my mom and my brother and all of that. So it kind of fell to the wayside. I really didn't think about it like that. I really didn't think about my writing or anything like that to be any type of artistic. I never could draw. So that was always a problem. I was looking at it, I can't draw for the fuck. And, I could color my ass off though. I could stay there, color my ass off. I know colors and how they work or whatever. But my junior year in high school, I entered a writing contest at the behest of, at that time, my girlfriend's aunt. And I entered it in and I won the shit. And so, but I didn't think nothing about it. But then again, that writing took me into winning another award, which then turned into a whole damn trip, which turned into a whole damn thing. And so football was still kind of like the thing for me. And then there's science also. So I really didn't, I pretty much put my pen down. Right. So it wasn't until maybe 2015, 2016, you know, and then I took a trip to Miami. Me and my boy, we went to Miami for Labor Day weekend. We had a damn good at. We was down there ball, and we had a damn blast down there. And so came back, and me and my wife was getting in a discussion, and I don't even know how the fuck the topic came up, but she just says, "You never write me anything." And I was like, "This shit is easy. What's the name?" She was like, "You don't write." I said, "I write this shit. What's the name?" And she would say, "Okay, go write something."
How old were you at this time?
I don't know, 40.
Okay.
30, 41, 39, something like that.
Okay.
And so I went out, I wrote something, came back in an hour, and she was like, "You wrote this shit in an hour?" So she was like, "You need to keep writing." So that was pretty much it. She pretty much put me back on the path of that type of writing. And then I was writing poems and doing all this other stuff, and she was like, "You know, you really should try to write a song. Why don't you just write a song?" I was like, I don't know about all that, you know, writing a song. And she was like, "Just sit down and do it." And I did it, and here we are.
Okay, I can say she was your biggest supporter at the show. She'll be right there with her camera close, like the cameraman taking angles and stuff. I'm like, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, because she don't want no other bitch taking no pictures or video.
Right. Yep. She was right there.
That's just what those down there. Okay.
What artist inspired you growing up?
Oh man, my biggest fan. I'm the biggest fan of Marvin Gaye.
What's your favorite song by him?
Sexual Healing.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you, it's a true story. True story. We got married. We was getting married, and we was sitting by the preacher who was at the church they was getting at. My mom's home church and our own church, mine anyway. And the preacher, Kenny wanted to come down to her own song, and I was like, "Fuck that! I'm coming down to my damn song." And so, because she came down to Anita Baker's "You Bring Me Joy," and I'm sitting anyway, and the preacher was like, Reverend Conley was like, "So you want to come down to what song you want?" "I want to come down to Marvin Gaye's Sexual Healing." Yeah. I'm like, "What the heck?" And Katie's over here like, "This motherfucker over here." Yeah, so I started to write songs after that, and she would be like, "Okay, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. This is bullshit. That's bullshit over here. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. This is bullshit." And she was like, "At some point in time, you got to start letting other motherfucking people hear this shit besides me."
Right.
So like, you need to actually go out and do some open mics and do stuff like that. So I toyed around with it. I used to go to Abstracts, Sir Abstracts, open mics and stuff like that, and listen to the poets come on stage there. And I told myself, maybe I can get up there and do that. And then I ventured over into L. Lambert's open mic.
Hey cousins, it's your girl Goddess 7, and listen, this commercial break is actually sponsored by me. Y'all make sure y'all go to Amazon and get this manifestation journal, 369 21-day manifestation journal. I'm gonna help you manifest all of your dreams, everything that you're inspiring. I'm gonna help you get there. I'm gonna guide you in this journal. Make sure y'all go check out Amazon Prime. The link is in the description. Go get your journal.